WhiteNose syndrome amongst bats is spreading, and now this rare fungus is reaching into Ohio. Wildlife biologist and with the Wayne National Forest, Katrina Schultes, joins us now in our studio. Thank you so much for being here.
Hi, thank you for having me.
So first, just start by telling us, what is WhiteNose syndrome?
This is a disease that is decimating bat populations while they hibernate. It's caused by a cold-loving fungus that attacks the bats while they hibernate, mainly in mines and caves, and has spread very quickly across the eastern United States and Canada. And the latest estimates are upwards of 5 to 6 million bats already dead.
Okay, and we found out in 2011 that this fungus has reached Ohio, but now what is the update and where is it spreading?
Well, so it was confirmed in Ohio, on the Wayne National Forest in 2011, and most recently it's turned up in northeast Ohio and Summit County and surrounding counties, and we're fully expecting it to move across the state.
Okay, and is there anything at this point that you can do to try and stop the spread, or what is going on right now? What is the effort?
We have been focusing on slowing the spread and minimizing disturbance to bats while they hibernate. When people disturb bats that are hibernating, it can severely disrupt their ability to survive the winter because they have a limited fat supply. So we still ask that folks stay out of mines and caves and don't disturb hibernating bats. And if you are traveling between places, going caving, for instance, in different areas, pay attention to the decontamination protocols that people are following in an attempt to slow the spread.
Okay, now will WhiteNose kill the bats in our region?
Yes, there's actually two basic groups of bats. There are bats that don't hibernate in mines and caves, and they aren't really affected by WhiteNose. But all the ones that we have in mines and caves hibernating are at risk, and most severely affected are little brown bats, which are one of the most common bats in Ohio, but not for long.
Okay, and I know it came into Ohio back in 2011. Are there any numbers, just from a brief number as to how many, bats that affected when it first came into the region?
It's really difficult to say. We didn't have a good handle on bats in Ohio. We do a lot of population monitoring for the endangered Indiana bats, a federally endangered species, but some of the more common species were always just considered to be numerous, and it wasn't a big deal. So, but we do know nationally it's a devastating effect, and the overall estimates are 5 to 6 million bats dead.
Okay, and what are the implications if the bats do die?
Well, it's pretty simple. Bats eat bugs. They're the primary consumer of night-flying insects, and they eat the bats that spread disease to humans. They eat bugs that spread disease to humans, and also agricultural and forest pests. So it's sort of a rolling problem. Rolls downhill. We spend more money on pest control and pesticides when we don't have bats contributing to the ecological control sort of naturally.
Okay, all right, well, Katrina, thank you so much for joining us in our studio tonight. We really appreciate it. Thanks so much.